Yeah, you can't. Yeah, he can't scoot over no more. That's good.
How's
I
that?
just want to have it where for the most part, everyone's
Better?
in there. Yeah.
But I don't
Waiting
see
for
your
you
number
guys to
going
get
up.
in here. You say what?
Oh, I was saying I don't see your number going up.
Yeah, that's because you remember it takes a minute for people for it to like notice everyone. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? We just come.
Hello.
Hey, Gigi. Hey, Gigi. We just come on here. I thought it was good to address some of the things that we've been seeing and hearing. And I think what really prompted this was because I had a young lady come on she DM'd me. You know, we understood when we did this TV show, we understood that, you know, we were sort of putting ourselves and our lives out there. That's cool. You know, it's okay. I expect to have the barrage of attacks. I'm okay with all of that. That's not my biggest issue. I think I take offense when someone inboxes me their ideology from a perspective that's limited to 47 minutes from a television show of our lives.
Yeah.
And make up this narrative that everyone has seemed to run with, and it derives at nothing because we have two positive adults, or should I say two positive adult men in our family. So our family is, of course, as many of you know who watch the show, we're comprised of a large family. It's 18 of us, only 2 men, then we have 2 women, with 3 women nowadays. And then we have, of course, boys and girls, children. So I'm constantly being inboxed, you know, based off of the divorce, the talks of the divorce. I'm constantly being inboxed on what's going on, where are we now? Some of it y'all saw on the television show. We are divorced, yes. We're filming right now. We are currently filming our show, so you guys will be able to sort of understand what led to the divorce, how we got to the point of a divorce, and just how esoteric a divorce is. So that's a whole nother animal that I can't really discuss right now, but you guys will see it, like I say, on the show that we're filming right now. But I think the most issues that I have is all the salacious shit that some of you, not all of you, some of you come up with. It's just out of this world. And like Eric made a point earlier, what was your point about the rumor, how a rumor can be started?
Yeah, that rumor derives from people that's in the circle, that know people personally, not from a fan section that's speculating on things that's not explained.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, for some reason, I think, and I think it speaks to reality TV or to some reality TV. I think Jerry Springer, he didn't do a good service to us as a whole when he came out with all these fights and shit on the TV shows. I think that hurt just the television reality sector as a whole, because now we can't see just something wholesome without figuring out or thinking of some salacious shit happening behind closed doors. I think that's my biggest issue, is that from watching our show, you see a loving family, you see a loving mother/grandmother,
Yes.
You see an adopted son that I'm always telling people, this is my son. I mean, he couldn't be more my son had he been blood related. And that shows throughout our television show. Anyone who knows us personally, they really, of course, see it and know it. There's no drama in our family outside of the drama we just recently had, and that was between Karen and I. But outside of that, there's no drama in our family outside of the normal family challenges. And I think what really sends my rocket to the moon, so to speak, is when people in one area, the apple don't fall far from the tree. I think it's important that many of you understand that Gigi raised me as a single parent.
Yes.
Gigi's a very alpha woman,
Yes.
so she raised an alpha man.
Yes.
I don't think she was setting out to raise an alpha man. I didn't set out to become an alpha man. It's just by my environment. I'm thankful to God that I'm the man that I am, because that's what led to me being the provider that I am. Many of you have had discrepancies with why is my child support so low. Well, let me address that. Karen pays the medical insurance. And so because she pays the medical insurance, which is about $2,000 a month, the legal fair equity of it is that I pay her half of the money she's paying for healthcare. But let me be very clear. I cover every bill in both of our houses because we now live in separate houses. Yes, we do. I cover bills at both houses. That's 2 washing machines and dryers. That's 2 kitchens. That's 2 stoves. That's bathrooms at both houses. That's toilet paper. That's light bill, gas bill, mortgages, hazard insurance. I cover all of that. So when you think that I just have abandoned my children, and this is for the ones who think it, not for the ones who don't think it, but when you think I've just abandoned my children, my biggest question is, where have I shown actions of abandonment? I think many of you see how Gigi is and see the woman that Gigi is, the mother that Gigi is, if I were to do such a thing, I would still have to answer my mother as a 53-year-old man.
Right.
If I thought about it.
Yeah.
And then on top of the issues, well, oh my God, I just can't believe it. He's only paying $1,000. That's only $83 per child. Well, do y'all know I cover every single bill that's in our family? Every single bill that's in our family, I cover. I say that not as bragging. I'm proud to be in the position to do it. But more than that, I'm thankful to God that I have a mother that raised me with the understanding to know my job as a man and responsibility as a man is to do it. So I'm here in my children's lives as a father, not just taking care of the bills, but as a hands-on, taking them to the games, spending time with them, wrestling with my boys, playing makeup with my daughters. I'm here as a hands-on father because I want to be. I enjoy it. I enjoy it whether Karen and I are together or not. We have our issues that we're trying to work together or work through, but regardless of that, we have a responsibility to our 14 children. And that responsibility is to provide a loving, nurturing environment, which I'm going to always do and Karen will always do, even if she and I don't see eye to eye with each other. That happens in relationships. I've had people telling me, y'all supposed to make it work because of... So if we stayed together and was fighting, would that be healthier for the children? I mean, I have so many questions when some of this stuff is brought to me. It's like, what the hell is some people thinking? I mean, and I don't never take to social media like this, but it's really perplexing when the rumors have come up about Eric and I fucking. I mean, really, excuse my French, but that's how I feel it. To know, like, when all this is going on, where is my mother?
Yeah, because I want to know, how blind do you think that I am, or would even have to be to oversee that, to look past that, if that was a fact? That's not. Eric is just like my grandson. I mean, from his soul. I think, actually, Eric, you might have been some kind of way. We should have been doing some DNA. But yeah, there's no way. You all say that you admire me or you look up to me, and thank you. I appreciate that. I also appreciate all the prayers. But when I look and I see these comments about my son and my grandson here, it really hurts my heart. Where do you think I am when all this is going on? Of course, I don't live with them. But do you know I have 14 grandchildren that confide in me on a regular? If anything went down any kind of way suspiciously, my grandchildren come to me. I mean, they'll in some cases come to me before they'll come to their parents, before they'll go to their parents. And don't get it wrong, they go to their parents. But I am so happy and thankful to God that they have that relationship with me. So when I see these comments, and I know my grandchildren, they go on social media, I don't know what to think of these people. I don't know these people that's constantly inboxing me and telling me they love me and they love my family. How? Don't you ever think that maybe it's possible that my grandchildren can get a hold to some of this? What do you think that's going to do to them? I just think that you're using your mind in places that you really shouldn't. And like he was saying about watching these Lifetime movies, we're Lifetime reality, but right. We're not Lifetime movies.
Right.
We are Lifetime realities. And our reality, it do not consist of this stuff that y'all keep trying to put on social media about my son and my grandson. So I think I've said my piece. Now, I may have to interrupt in a minute when something else hit my mind, because y'all know I am of seasoned years, and sometimes I don't remember like I once did. But as it comes to me, I might have to interrupt. But in having said that, I would just really hope and pray that y'all would take into consideration, what if this was you? All we're doing, yeah, we did a unhealthy thing when we put our lives out before the world.
I wouldn't even say that.
But the thing about it is, we would have never did it had there been anything for us to hide. Exactly who you see us to be, that is exactly who we are. That's on and off the camera. And I mean, that is for real. Anybody that has ever met me would tell you I'm the same person when they meet me in the street as I am when they see me on television. So, Eric or Dear, y'all, take it over, because right now I got to take a break. My oxygen is getting a little low, and I got to replenish that. But if I feel the need to intervene again, I have to come at you with it.
What do you want to say?
I mean, my thing is, I just think that if you can dish it out, then be ready to receive it. We're not the average people who have been on television before us, who politically wanted to be correct and let y'all say whatever you want to say. we're entitled to a response. And I get a lot of DMs from women who claim to be fans of the show, or admire me to some degree. And I don't understand from anyone who think that we are a family and you can be friends with me and have something bad to say about who I call family. That don't make sense. And because this is a woman's network or a woman's
when he say
platform,
he says TLC. Yeah, it specifically is more women demographics is watching TLC than it is men. So unfortunately, the direction of the show is for the most part guided by the fact that it's mostly women watching it, and that could be a problem. And more than I think, the bigger problem for me is it seems to really come from more of our own community, like our Caucasian brothers and sisters. I don't get the negative comments from. It's my own community. And I think that's what most troubles me is it comes from my own community. We come from, some of us, broken households. And I think the beauty in our show is we showcase a house of people that's full of love and it's not broken. And even though Karen and I are having our challenges, our family is not broken. I want to be very clear with that. And that's the sentiment that you'll see, echo throughout all of our show and even going forward, that our family is not broken. And I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of. I'm very proud of having a young man, an adult son that's here to help me protect the women of our family, our children. And then to know that, unfortunately, some of us have watched too many Lifetime movies. And I happen to love Lifetime. And I've watched many of Lifetime shows with Karen. But I know how twisted the mindset is of, some of the families of some of the people on Lifetime. But when I see that same level of sickness being displayed, or not even displayed, being perceived or made up. I won't even say perceived. Some of it just made up. It's like it's hard to just see that there's a family that genuinely have love and respect for each other. Yeah. That's the thing that our family really consists of. And why does it consist of that? Because just like many of you, we've had issues with our other families. Yes. So one of the things that I wanted to do and Karen wanted to do and Gigi wanted for us to do was to showcase the love that we really genuinely have, but on this platform. And that's the thing that we've always done. We've always been real. We've always showcased that. But this recent stuff with, Eric, and my biggest issue is I can take it. I'm older than Eric. I'm twice Eric's age. Like Gigi, I'm a little seasoned in this thing. But to know that this young man has gone through God knows what prior to being adopted by us, which is what led us to adopt him. And then he has to be brought into and attacked with this level of attack out of nowhere. I mean, where's the human compassion for just a human being? Forget television, forget reality TV. Just he's a human being that happened to be loved by us and taken in. And then he has to go on social media and read all this crap. And I tell him, listen, stay off that damn social media. Stay off of it. Don't let it bother you. And I think what bothers him is because Eric has such a pure, genuine, honest heart. And it really, how they say, ignorance only bothers the person that's not ignorant. Yes. It doesn't bother the ignorant people. Ignorance doesn't bother the people that's being ignorant. So
they're on social media, they say whatever they feel like they
we
want.
back.
Yeah, we back.
So
go ahead.
I'm unbothered by the comments, specifically if it's about sexuality or things like that, because I'm secure in who I am. But what bothers me is, like you say, our community attacking us the most. Mm-hmm. And it bothers me also that
our own community, because it helps me appreciate our brothers and sisters of other races, not just Caucasian, but Latin, Asian. We have a lot of people from other races that watch our show, and it really, it definitely opens up my eyes to just as a whole being able to love and be loved by other people. Because I mean, we are a loving family. We're a loving African-American family. But to be attacked by your own, it's like, when does it stop? I mean, really and truly, it's one of those situations my grandmother used to say, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. Because it's like, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Don't misunderstand that at all. But I hope that this will enlighten some, educate some, and change the trajectory in which some of the viewers are making things up. I mean, go to those reality shows that's doing the salacious things, right? That has the drama. Go to those. I mean, we in this day and time, we have television shows that fit everyone's desires. But when you come to this one, I really imagination, right? But when you come to this one, you come to our show getting that love and that connection, and that sense of family that we are. And I just think it's like you're doing a disservice to yourselves You're doing a disservice to us. You're doing a disservice to other people that are going through drama, going through family issues, and that need that getaway, that need that love that they're able to get from our show. You know, we're dealing with a lot right now, as many of you know, with my mother's health challenges, with my nephew. You know, speaking of that, thank you guys for all the ones that's been loving us and sending us great messages and and donating to him. But, you know, we're dealing with that. We're dealing with, of course, Karen and I, you know, going through the challenges. This is new for us. This is new for our family. So we're dealing with challenges just like everyone else. And we don't want any pity. You know, it is what it is. We're all humans. Right. But it's just have compassion for your fellow human. I mean, really and truly have compassion for your fellow human, especially a person like this young man sitting behind me who didn't have family. You know, he had, of course, blood relatives, but they wasn't family like we are. And I love the way he interacts with our children. You know, they say children will tell you the truth. Our children love him. They love him. I mean, he's their big brother, literally.
Literally, yeah. They love him. They do.
I want to add something too. Some of these comments and things is more so doing a disservice to our black community, because to those outside of us, this is what they see of us. They see a black television show, and when they look through the comments and you see a lot of black folks attacking us, how does that look to the people outside?
Right.
How do we?
That's true.
Our television show has been showing presentation of the Most High. We've been representing the black community well-spoken, well-behaved, not ratchet, ghetto, all of those things. But when you attack us, you show other people how to treat us. How can y'all find the thoughts that y'all have to think what y'all think about us based on what we do on the show? If we was on the show, y'all wouldn't like it if we was on the show. Yeah, you know how black people are, and they black business, they half-ass do this, or you know this, and you know that. Y'all will be attacking us if we speak some truths about the black community. But we pick the things that are the best when we speak about the black community. And for those who sensitive about the idea of who don't ski, who don't camp, black people know we don't ski and we don't camp. It's okay that a minority of us do that.
That's true.
But y'all make it seem like it's the end of the world that we're using our platform to expose that we are a minority in experiences, and we're trying to bring attention to that so that more blacks will do it. But y'all got a problem when we try to be creative and address topics that consist in our community, and then y'all got a problem about things we don't talk about. How you got a problem with what you don't see? Y'all don't see nothing but love and a story about parenting and being a pillar of the community. He brought me into his life, and he already had a dozen children. How many, for the black people out there, how many black people open their door up to anybody to help them? Because we in such a scarce mindset, and for the poverty and for the middle class, it's just not common. It's normally people outside the race that you create these bonds with. But y'all got a man who took me in. I understand that black people aren't used to seeing such compassion in our community, where another man who he's 30 years older than me, he has enough wisdom and wit to read my character, and he approved of it. You think he's so stupid that I'm around his children and I'm sneaking around and geeking? You think Gigi's so stupid that if he missed it, she missed it? You think Karen's so stupid? It's just a half-ass compliment to say how much you respect Gigi or how outstanding of a mother Karen is. But then you have these things to say about Karen and Gigi family. So if y'all want to talk and address things, let's have a discussion. But you don't have to attack to create that discussion. Because I
absolutely, very well said.
Y'all attack, and then when we reply, somebody say something nasty, and then you reply. They're like, "Oh, thank you. I never thought that you was going to reply." We got a lot of trauma in the black community, but let's use this platform to be more enlightened about changing those things. We don't have to. You black people out there, y'all know how it is. When a black person is fly and looking good, it's where you think you going. You think you crispy because black people are. They don't even recognize how we embody negative, and we try to use that to convey positive. Just say, "Damn, girl, you looking good," or "You looking handsome." Don't say, you think you the shit, huh? Yeah. That's black people know that you complimented us, but there's an underlying issue in our community. If y'all love us. But learn how to just present these questions and theories in a more positive way. I'll answer them. I'm not running from none of the questions.
And neither am I.
I'm not insecure. I have women in my life. That's not a problem. If y'all think he's gay, then I'm gay too. No problem. We still living. It don't hurt me. It's just that I understand, if we're going to be real, black people have our issues and we don't know how to communicate.
Absolutely.
So for the black people out there attacking us, just talk to us. Just say, "Hey, you know, it's unusual for me to see a father embrace another grown man. Hey, I'm fortunate. Be happy for my good fortune that I crossed paths with someone who was so compassionate and so observant of what he's seen me going through without me ever telling him. Y'all don't know that me and him used to argue the first year and a half, 2 years of us knowing with each other. Because I'm a grown-ass man who raised myself from childhood. Everything that I know and this person that I am today is an example of me choosing what I felt was good for me. I didn't have too many people sit down and say how to choose a woman properly. And as a result, I choose the type of women that I've been with in the past. And I'm divorced after a committed, loyal relationship. It's like, because when you in foster care, you tend to have a underdog supportive mentality. I didn't used to judge women for leaving out the house for wearing bonnets, or for wearing their pajamas to the store, or for just cussing too fucking much. None of us may not should be cussing, but damn sure I don't care if y'all think it's sexist. It's not ladylike for a woman to be cursing a lot. It's not ladylike for a woman to want to do masculine things. Smoking is bad for everybody, but do y'all really think it's cute for a woman to have a black and mild to her face? Do y'all really think it's cute for women to be drinking a fifth to themselves? And so I understand that these are our black community issues. We lack fathers. But every time you see two black men come together, it doesn't mean that they gay. It's just fortunate that a minority of us still can come together. I lived in dozens of homes. I live in several shelters. That's in foster care and with my mother. I've been around a lot of groups of people and families. And only 3 families out of all of the families that I came across was good to me. Treated me like family and didn't make me feel like
a human being. Gigi just said,
and didn't make me feel like they family was more important. I know I've been in enough foster homes to understand that the average person is going to choose their family over me, no matter how loyal and loving and trustworthy I am. That's what I got to deal with. I got to continue to live my life, even with them, with understanding that wholeheartedly they may embrace me as their family and see me, but it's still my trauma and my experiences that allow me to still know that there's an inch of. She's not there.
Who's home?
Everybody else.
Okay, just text.
So with that being said, I'm just saying for the black people, not that other people haven't said things, but I don't care what they say. I'm addressing the black community because we're black, and I understand that it's so unfamiliar for just black people to come together in general who not family. And so it looks weird. I get that for the black people. It looks weird to see that he was able to cross my path. But why can't he have a friend in me? I was grown already. What am I supposed to do? Just start off as his what? As his play son? I didn't have a father. I didn't have no father figures. You know what my father figure was? Denzel Washington movies, John Gotti, Mafia movies, Batman, shit like that. That's where I got my character for. I had to see the representation that I felt was positive for my life. And fortunately, in the reality, I crossed his path. He was in a time in his life where things was going on. He saw me and he just felt like I was real. And he wanted to do for me because he looked at my story as one of a person that needed help. Because it's hard to navigate the world without family. So if y'all that upset or jealous or envious that I was lucky, years ago, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt adopted all these different race of children. I get that it's not that it's normal, it's just more acceptable when you take in someone who's so small they don't know anything and you call them family. But it doesn't mean that adults and teenagers don't need family and exempt from being taken in by someone. Yeah. It is a village, and at the end of the day, when somebody steps to the Derrico household and he's not there, I'm there. Right. His house is protected. When he's not there, I'm there. When I'm not there, he's there. What's the problem? You women should be inspired by the fact that 2 men was able to come together. I was wise and reasonable enough to receive what he was offering to me. Because when he was trying to school me when we first met, I wasn't really adhering to everything because I've been living 20-something years of my own life raising myself. It takes a lot for me to defer to another man's opinion and guidance when you had to guide yourself. And so for us to be here, it's a beautiful thing. It's a testimony that there are still good people out there. There's good black men out there. There's good men out there. I'm not the only person he's ever helped. I seen our tenants, dozens of our tenants. He treat everyone the same. It starts off as a tenant-landlord situation, and as, conversation, you pick up things. He see our problems. It ain't my fault that he noticed that it was a Thanksgiving, and he's like, what you doing for Thanksgiving? I'm like, nothing. that inspired him to invite me to his Thanksgiving, and from there, my character got me here. His character got us here. What's the problem with that? I don't care if I'm 30 years old and what? It's a problem that I'm smart enough to know that while I'm still without children and pretty much like a single man, why not take notes? Why not get reps in handling children, hands-on with his children? Why? Or would y'all prefer me to be ignorant of the things that he's taught me up until now, get with some woman, and now I'm failing as a head of the house? What's the problem? Why are y'all rushing my life? I'm a young man. Do y'all see this economy? Half of us can't afford shit going on in here, and y'all want me to rush to get a woman? Is it really gonna make y'all sleep better at night to see that I have girls on deck, that I'm going on a date? Or is it more inspirational to you to see that I'm taking notes and becoming a better man? It's not a rush. What you want me to do? End up with one of y'all? Is it that? But let's really talk about it. Y'all can text me, y'all can inbox me. Let's talk about these things. You don't have to attack someone to create the conversation. And I'm not attacking women. It just happened that this is a woman's network. So it happens that it's the women that's saying these things.
Right, exactly.
And that's all that it is.
And let me say this real quick. It is not an attack on women. It is a speaking up to those.
It's an attack on those women, though.
Yeah, the ones that's misguided. But also
who's unhappy, who's miserable, who's single mothers. There's a lot of single mothers, no disrespect to them, but I'm just saying, the women who's given the problem have internal issues.
Exactly.
That's all.
And let me say this. One of the other things is, and this is where I have to thank our other races, our other siblings, not siblings, our other brothers and sisters of other races, because in the African American community, it's not as common to see. I don't drink, I don't smoke. There's not a fight at my house. There's not arguing in my house. There's not, and even in my house now, it never was. And I've always believed in coming together in unity. That's what I got from my mother. I watched my mother always be the pillar of our family. And I watched her in many areas be the pillar of the community. She was always taking other children in, and they were at our house playing and whatnot. And I just became the male version of my mother. And I didn't even realize I was becoming that. I mean, I say, you don't realize you're your parent till you get old enough. You're like, damn, I'm my mother. I didn't realize I was becoming that person. So who you see is who I am. That's just the bottom line. But I do believe that families should always be together. I believe that families should always stick together. And I do believe that in our community that there are more black men that I have seen that are my friends that really are there and present for their families. Unfortunately, on many television shows, it doesn't show that. So it's sort of a wrong depiction of how we are. And I thank God that in our case, we represent in a good way the African American families can thrive and how we do thrive, and that we are up to par with some of our other brothers and sisters of other races. And so to them, that's why the attack isn't coming from them. They recognize this as being normal. They recognize the fact that I'm at home and that, Eric is there with us. They recognize that as being normal. But within our own people, it's not normal. And that's a fucking problem. I mean, that's a serious problem that you have a black man present. I don't just take care of the financial side of my children, of my family, my household. I am hands-on with homework. I cook. Respectfully, Karen doesn't cook, and we don't want her to cook. Trust me, none of us want her to cook for many reasons. But I am the cook. I'm the one that potty trained every one of our children. I take pride in knowing that I'm that hands-on father. I wouldn't have it no other way. Whether Karen and I are married or divorced or not seeing eye to eye, I will always be actively present in my children's lives. If you guys noticed on the divorce paperwork, it clearly states that we have full joint custody. So when people are making up these rumors like, oh my God, he just left her with 14 children. I would like for y'all to find that paperwork and send it to me so I can sue the hell out of somebody.
I heard that.
I would like for y'all to find that paperwork
Yes.
and point out where it says I left my wife. I would never do to my wife what my father, God rest his soul, did to my mother. And I think no woman should have to raise children by themselves. I think it's totally unfair. And so I would never do that. That's not the man that I am. I don't know how to be that kind of man. But I want us to recognize good parenting and good leadership within a family. Is Eric technically a babysitter? No. Eric is a great ass big brother. That's what he is. He's a great ass big brother. And do I feel good when I leave my children and my wife at the time when I leave home for something? Do I feel good knowing that there's another man there present who I know will go to bat and take a fucker down for messing with my house? Absolutely, I feel good with that. As a man, I'm supposed to. As a man, I'm supposed to set my family up to always be safe in my presence and in my absence. That's the responsibility of a man. I take pride in that. And we have to normalize great parenting. We have to normalize great families. Yeah, again, I cannot say it enough. We're divorced. Yes, for those that's watching, Karen and I, we have divorced. I'm still in love with Karen. She's still in love with me. We got to figure it out. But while we're figuring it out, our children cannot be affected. So when you talk to our children, when you see our children, they're loving, they're happy, they're just as excited as they've always been. And we've had to talk to them on many occasions. And you guys will see that in the coming up season. You will see that in the coming up season. So don't worry. We're not. Pause. And we did not know of Amani prior to 2 years ago. So that was not a storyline. That was real. He hasn't been on the show because of his sickness. And it was a lot happening while we were filming, and we just wasn't able to cover it. We just, he's in Detroit. Of course, we're here in Vegas. It was a lot we weren't able to cover. He didn't even want to be shown. At the point that you guys saw him at the last season was near him. We thought getting better. And then he took, of course, a nosedive, and it was worse. As of today, he is a little bit better. And we just ask you guys to keep on praying, keeping our family in your prayer. And so I'm going to wrap this thing up. Anything y'all have to say before I end?
Yeah. Ladies out there, y'all can DM me and we can talk. I'm like a counselor. I give great advice and
like
just come correct and let's talk. Let's talk about it. I give great advice. Ask all my lady friends. I'm a healer.
Anything you got to say, Gigi?
No, I think I covered it. I think.
All right. Well, until next time, I intend on doing more of these lives, just to address things that I feel is going on within the community, our home, our family, the world as a whole. And so I appreciate you guys and all the ones that support us. I really do appreciate and love you guys. All right. So we good?
I think we're good.
All right, Team Derrico. We out.